Welcome back to our channel Dakshi's Knowledge Tech. So in this video we'll learn about third chapter Nazism and the rise of Hitler. Here are some main important points to remember here. So here are the notes. You can take down some of the points from here. Birth of the Weimar Republic. That was Germany for the First World War in 1914 to 1918 along with the Austrian Empire and against the Allies, that is England, France and Russia. Then comes the Germany initially made gains by occupying France and Belgium. However, the Allies won, defeating Germany and the Central Powers in 1918. Then we come to the defeat of the Imperial Germany and the abdication of the Emperor gave an opportunity to parliamentary parties to recast Germany polity. The National Assembly met at Weimar and established a democratic constitution with a federal structure. The republic, however, was not received well by its own people, largely because of the terms it was forced to accept after Germany's defeat at the end of the First World War. Many Germans held the new Weimar Republic responsible for not only the defeat in the war but the disgrace at the Versailles. Then, what were the effects of the World War here? The effects of the war had a devastating impact on the entire continent, both psychologically and financially. From being a creditor, Europe became a debtor. The supporters of the Weimar Republic were criticized and became easy targets of the attack in the conservative nationalist circle. Soldiers came to be placed above the civilians. Aggressive war propaganda and national honor became important. The fragile democracy could not survive and led to instability in Europe. So directly you can take down the main points that is the main political radicalism and economic crisis. The birth of Weimar Republic coincided with the uprising of the Spasist League on the pattern of the Bolshevik here. Then revolution in Russia. The Spasist founded the Communist Party of the Germany. The political instability in Germany paved the way for Hitler. Then comes the political radicalization has heightened by the economic crisis of 1923. As Germany refused to pay the war reparation, France occupied its leading industrial area, Ruhr. Germany retailed with printing paper currency, and recklessly the value of the mark collapsed. Then prices of goods soared. There was inflation. The years of the depression, that is 1924 to 28. So these years saw some stability, yet it was built on the sand. Then Germany was totally independent on short-term loans, largely from the USA. This support was withdrawn with the crash in 1929 on the Wall Street Exchange. German economy was hit badly. It led to social unrest. The middle class and working population was filled with the fear of proliferation. Then the Weimar Republic had some inherent defect. Then proportional representation, that is Article 48, which gave the president the power to impose emergency, suspend civil rights, and rule by decree. Hitler rise to power. When did Hitler come on to power? Hitler was born in Austria in 1889. He earned many medals for the bravery in the First World War. The German defeat was horrified him. The Treaty of Versailles made him furious. He joined the German Workers' Party and renamed it National Socialist German Workers' Party. This later came to be known as the Nazi Party. Then Nazism became a mass movement only during the Great Depression. The Nazi propaganda stirred hopes of the better future. Hitler was a powerful and effective speaker. He promised the people a strong nation where all would get employment. His politics included the significant rituals and spectacle in mass mobilization. Nazi propaganda skillfully projected Hitler as a messiah, a survivor. Then what happened? The destruction of the democracy. Hitler achieved the highest position in the cabinet of the ministers on 30 January 1933. Hitler now set out to dismantle the structure of the democratic rule. The fire decree of 28 February 1933 suspended civic rights like freedom of the speech, press, and assembly. Communists were hurriedly packed out to established concentration camps. All political parties were banned. Special surveillance and security forces were created to control the people and rule with impunity. Then reconstruction, that is economist, that is Jelmer Snatch, was given to the responsibility of the economic recovery. He aimed at the full production and full employment through a state-funded work creation program. Then Hitler pulled out the League of Nations in 1933, reoccupied the Rhineland in 1936 and integrated Austria and Germany in 1938 under the slogan "One People, One Empire, One Leader." Hitler ignored the Schatz's advice of not to invest hugely in rearmament. Then he took Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia. Hitler had the unspoken support of England. Hitler did not stop here. He chose war as a way out of the economic crisis. Then resources were accumulated through expansion of the territory. In September 1940, Germany invaded Poland. This started a war with France and England. USA resisted involvement in the war, but when Japan extended in its support, to Hitler, bombarded Pearl Harbor, the USA entered the war. The war ended in 1945 with Hitler's defeat and the US bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. Then the Nazis' world view. According to Nazi ideology, there was no equality between the people, but only racial hatred. The Nazis quickly began to implement their dream of creating an exclusive racial community of pure Germans by physically eliminating all those who were considered undesirable. They wanted a society of pure and healthy Nordic Aryans, Jews, Gypsies, Black, Russian, Poles, even certain Germans and abnormal who considered undesirable. The other aspect of Hitler's ideology related to the geopolitical concept of Lebensraum and living space. Then the Jews were the worst sufferers in Nazi Germany. Hitler believed in pseudo scientific theories of the race, which said the conversion, conversion was no solution to the Jewish problem. It had to be solved through the total elimination, removing of. From 1933 to 1938, the Nazis terrorized, popularized, pauperized, and segregated the Jews, compelling them to leave the country. The next phase, that is 1939 to 45, aimed at concentrating them in a certain area and then killing the men, killing them in gas chambers in Poland. Then the racial utopia. Genocide and the war became two sides of the same coin. Occupied Poland and divided. Poles were forced to leave their homes and properties behind to be occupied by ethnic Germans brought in from occupied Europe. Youth in Nazi Germany. So Hitler felt that a strong Nazi society could be established by the teaching Nazi ideology to children. All schools were given German teacher. Children were divided into two groups, desirable and undesirable. Textbooks were written. Functions of sports in school was to nurture the spirit of violence and aggression. 10 years old had to enter Jungvolk. At 14, all boys joined Hitler Youth. They joined the labor service at 18. The Nazi cult of motherhood. Women were told to be good mothers, rare, pure blooded Aryan children. They were encouraged to produce many children. They had to be bearers of the Aryan culture and race. Then comes the art of propaganda. The Nazi regime used language and media with care and often to great effect. They used film, picture, radio, poster, etc. to spread hatred for Jews. Nazism worked on the minds of the people, tapped their emotion, and turned their hatred, anger to at those marked as undesirable. The crime against the humanity. People saw the world through Nazi eyes and spoke the Nazi language. At times, even the Jews began to believe in the Nazi stereotypes among them. Then the knowledge about the Holocaust. It was only after the war ended the people came to know about what had happened. The Jews wanted the world to know about the auto, sorry, atrocities and suffering they had endured during the Nazi killing operation. They just wanted to live, even if it was for a few hours, to tell the world about the Holocaust. So, these are some points. You can take down some of the points from this. Just read the main thing and just find out the points and then write the notes. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you. Please like and subscribe.